Okay, so you're gonna start with the quick fire questions, or
I have up until America. I have fish and chips or cheeseburger, and then you take the rest. That's all
all
I've
right,
written down. All right.
you're not starting it.
No, I thought you were starting it.
Oh, I gotta pull up the picture. Then sorry about this. All right, so yeah, we just got a few like quick fire questions. Just kind of break the ice a little bit. So,
All right.
start Ronaldo or Messi?
Ronaldo, without a doubt.
Yeah. Do you
Let's
like
go.
calling it football or soccer?
Fluffy.
Nice. LeBron or MJ?
MJ, he's the GOAT, man.
Yeah, me too. All right, other guys finally joining on. Would you rather score or get a clean sheet?
Ooh. I think I'd rather keep a clean sheet. I think that's a lot more satisfying than scoring a goal. I think a goal is probably more emotional, but a clean sheet is satisfying.
Totally. Would you rather, or are you Xbox guy or PlayStation?
Xbox, definitely Xbox.
Yeah, respect me too. So, all right. So, Key, you got the fish and chips or cheeseburger, or you want me to just keep on going?
You do that one.
All right. Do you like fish and chips or cheeseburger?
Cheeseburger, man. Gotta keep it simple.
Nice. Yeah, respect that.
All right. FIFA or 2K?
Definitely FIFA.
Hey, all right. Night out with the boys or staying?
Night out with the boys, I think. Yeah, a lot more fun happens there. Staying in is kind of, but a night out, anything can happen.
Oh, that's class. All right. Who wins in a fight, grizzly bear or gorilla?
Gorillas, man. Gorillas are slept on. They're crazy. The gorillas winning that fight.
All right, I agree with you there. Hardest person that you've had to defend?
Probably Rafinha. That's yeah, he's very, very agile, very twisty, and he's doing that all while being extremely fast. So he's probably the toughest person I've had to defend.
Yeah.
One person in the Premier League that you would like to swap shirts with?
Ooh. Probably, or maybe Rafael Varane. I think they're very successful professionals, and they're pretty good at what they do, and they've obviously achieved a lot throughout their careers. So definitely them.
Oh, that's a great answer. I was thinking maybe someone else, but I think I like the Varane answer. I like that. All right. I think, is James in here yet?
It showed like he was joining, but then he like disconnected. So I think we just keep on going without him.
All right. So I guess you take the first question, John.
All right.
Or whatever question you have written down, it doesn't really matter.
All right. So when you were first moved to like Norwich from Dallas, what was like the biggest shock and like biggest culture difference whenever you moved?
To be fair, I didn't have too much of a culture shock. I used to come to England because my dad's from England. So we were his parents. But I think definitely like football-wise, just the speed of the game and the intensity of it, the physicality of it, a bit of a shock. It was something to adjust to.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Oh, that's I noticed when you were talking, I wasn't really expecting you have a little bit of an accent from England, so that's cool. What part of England's your dad from?
He's from Suffolk, which is about an hour or so away. He's from a small village called Rattleston. So yeah, it's across the border from Norwich, which is a bit hostile. But yeah, so not too far away.
Who did he support growing up?
I've had to say this a few times. The answer never gets easier. But he grew up supporting Ipswich. Obviously. So yeah.
Oh, that's class. Or it's kind of cool how you're Norwich now. He was an Ipswich supporter, but it was funny because yesterday we did like a little mock preview, and Keelan was just acting like you, and then we were like asking some questions like that, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I actually grew up supporting Ipswich," just like messing with us, and
That's so funny.
it's actually true.
Yeah, yeah. All of my dad's side of the family are for Ipswich, and I think still have season tickets to this day. So me playing for North, definitely.
Sadly, we haven't been able to play them lately since they've just been 2 flights below. But hopefully, he'll get to play them sometime. That would be really sick.
Yeah, I think they'd play against them, just so they could be there and watch it.
Yeah, that would be super cool.
Yeah.
All right. So my question is, well, it kind of gets into what you were saying, but what was it like when clubs abroad started showing interest in you, and did it help that your dad was from England, and did that give you any connections over there, or is it just you were playing so good as a youngster where people just saw such great potential?
It kind of all almost happened by accident. I was going off to Ireland to play in a tournament with an FC Dallas team, and this was just another summer where I was going to visit my grandparents, and I really just wanted to stay fit before going to Ireland. So we went to Ipswich, and we showed up at their training ground and just kind of asked if I could train with one of their teams to stay fit, and instead trial. And so that after that trial, I went off to Ireland, and Ipswich asked me to come back again. So before that, while I was in Ireland, I got scouted by West Brom. So this is when things kind of started to snowball a bit. And so I went to West Brom and then Ipswich again, and then back to America. Stayed in America, I think, for about 5 months. Came back to both clubs again in November time. And that's when both clubs kind of said, yeah, we're not really interested. You've got a few things that you need to work on still, and we're not really ready to take that on. And the head of recruitment at the time moved from Ipswich to Norwich, and that's kind of what brought up my trial later on at Norwich. And after that, that's where I stuck.
That's an awesome story, actually. I mean, that it's crazy how small the world is sometimes. With you said your dad was Ipswich, and it just worked out that way, and then Norwich. So I think that's really cool and interesting. John, you got the next one?
Yeah, no, I also found it really cool, like how you just like walked up and just wanted to stay fit, and that's how you kind of got started with those trials, which is pretty cool. How you just made it happen.
Yeah, I think that's definitely not a traditional way of going about it. But it's kind of one of those ones. Sometimes you have to kind of force your way through the door. I wasn't trying to force a trial by any means, but that's what I ended up getting at the end of the day, and I'm very grateful for it because it's got me where I am now.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. It's super cool.
Your question, John?
Yeah. All right. So like how different is like the training facilities at Norwich, like Colony versus like training in Dallas, like at Solar? Is it like just totally different levels of like?
Yeah, completely different. With Solar, there's no actual like kind of solar training facility. So we had various fields that we would rent, kind of around the Dallas area. So one day we would be training, kind of in Dallas, and then the next day we're training 25 minutes outside of Dallas. So it wasn't really as concrete. Obviously we didn't really have gym facilities or anything, whereas Colony is very good now. They've done a lot of work. So the academy facilities are pretty much, I think, a year or two old, maybe 3. So we've got 10 changing rooms now, a brand new gym, pretty much new pitches, all types of stuff. We have this new machine called the Soccer Bot, for passing. They're planning to build a pool. So yeah, loads and loads of facilities now. Like these are proper Premier League facilities. So it's really nice to be around.
Awesome. All right, Key, you want the next question or?
Yeah, I got you. All right, JT. So, with everything that happened with Fark, it's sad times, and with Dino coming in, I was just wondering, is there really like any glaring differences in training compared to Dino and Daniel?
I would say, I think with Farka, it was a bit more stop-start, kind of very, very tactical. That's not to say it's not with Dean Smith, because today, we were definitely, was a pretty tactical session, focusing on how the opposition are going to approach us. But I think things are a little more free-flowing. There's a lot more games with Dean Smith, and in my opinion, I think the best way to practice for a game is to play a game. Now, maybe you can kind of simulate that game by telling the team to play a certain way, which is what we do sometimes. But yeah, I mean, there's not loads of differences, but I think the atmosphere is a bit different as well right now.
Do you like the new atmosphere? You're a fan of it?
Yeah, I like it. No disrespect to Farka, but I think the last one was a little bit intimidating sometimes as a young player coming up. Whereas I think with Dean Smith and Shakespeare, and this might just be down to a language barrier sometimes. They're very, very inviting and welcoming, and they make you really feel like you're a part of the team, even though you're just a fresh face and you might be training for 1 day, 3 days, kind of thing.
It's a great point.
It's really cool too. Like during the United game, I was texting all my friends like JT's probably about to get his debut. I was disappointed to see Lungi come on, but he played well. He played well. So I've heard you've been wanting to go out on loans, get some more first team experience. Is there anywhere specific, like a league, or do you want to stay in England or go abroad or anywhere? Have anything specific in mind?
I wouldn't say I have like an ideal place of where I want to go. I think what I've always kind of said is I would prefer to stay in England if I'm playing kind of League Two football or above. But I'm also more than happy to go abroad. I'm very open to that. I do speak decent Spanish, so I'm not opposed to going to Spain. But the big point for me is just what's going to be the best for my development, where I'm going to play and learn and grow as a player, because I'm not really going on loan to get signed by the team on loan. I'm going on loan to prepare for the first team here.
Nice. I think that's a great response, and just what I want to hear as a Norwich fan. Like one of our best young players, he wants to stay here and just get some first team experience. Love hearing that. So.
Yeah, no, I can see myself hopefully playing in this team one day. So I'm gonna kind of try and do the right things to get there.
So aren't you pretty close to Andrew Obama? Or I can't pronounce it right, but he's broken into the first team now and has been balling out, having a pretty good year. And you played a lot with him last year in the academy, didn't you? So.
Yeah, me and Andrew played together for probably 2 years, between under 18s and under 23s. We did live together for a decent period of that as well. So yeah, me and him get on very well. And really nice to see him doing well for the first team. And it's also kind of like he can be a role model to me for a bit as well. Kind of maybe following his footsteps a little bit. Yeah, he's definitely doing well.
Nice.
Well, that gets into the next question I was going to ask is, like, what's it like being such a youngster, being able to be a captain of the U23 side, and not only being a youngster, but also being from a different country. So what's it like being able to have to lead men who are older than you, and also having people that are younger than you look up to you?
Yeah, I'm getting to the point where age does not matter so much. Maybe I might be a young guy coming in, but it's getting to the point where senior football is not an age group. It's it can be anyone from the age of sometimes 16 all the way up to people who are pushing 40. So I try not to let age really influence it, but a big part of my game, probably since I was, I think, 15, has been leadership. And I was one bit of advice I was told by, I think it was Luchi Gonzalez. He kind of advised me to make a team my team, in terms of like I need to organize, I need to be that leader. And I was also told that the best players make the players around them better. So I always want to try and help people succeed as well, because at the end of the day, if I'm doing well and they're doing well, we're all doing well. And I think it also says a lot about a person if they can help someone else be better too.
That's really is a great answer. I think one of the best qualities in a man is being able to be a leader amongst men. That really just proves your character, shows your character and what the effect you have on people.
I totally agree. So I see like on your Instagram that Rio comments on a good bit of your pictures. Do you have a pretty close relationship with Rio, or what's that like?
I say pretty close, but I do have him as kind of a mentor. So it's definitely nice. I've spoken to him before, not necessarily about my games, but about professional games. So like he does kind of commentary or punditry for Champions League matches sometimes, and so we'll speak about like games like Bayern Munich, Barcelona, for example. We spoke about that one a lot about like the back line of of Bayern Munich, because it was just so high, and we were saying like it's something we've never really seen before. So little things like that, but. I speak more to his brother Anton Ferdinand actually, and I've actually gone to him for advice before, and it's made a big difference in my game. I remember last year there was a point in the season where I was struggling quite bad with heading. I wasn't really winning headers or like kind of those competitive ones where the striker's backing into you. And I went to him, kind of sent him some clips, and asked for his advice on it, what his opinion was. And he pretty much came back to me with really, really simple advice, but it was something so simple it's easy to follow. And the next couple of games after that, I was winning about, I think it was 95% of my headers. I think I was like 12 for 14 in one game on headers against Newcastle and Burnley and stuff like that. So it's really nice to have people who have experienced the game at the highest level for a long time to advise me and kind of guide me.
That's super cool how you're just taking it in and they're happy to help you out. So that's just really cool.
I have oh, my bad.
I was just saying, like, especially like too, how like, they actually see you taking their advice and implementing it into your game and improving. That must be fulfilling for them too. So
yeah, I'm sure it is. It's kind of like we're saying, good players make those around them better. So it's definitely nice to have advice. I watched these guys on TV when I was growing up as well. So I definitely know that information has credit behind it.
nice.
I have a little bit of a side question, and then I'll get back. But does the Burnley Academy team, so they play like the first team, like just so direct?
Yeah, they do. Some academies are different. They don't necessarily play the same way that their first team. For us, for example, we play a different formation than our first team, but our principles are all the same. Burnley again have the same principles, but they also play the same formation. So yeah, I think it is good for the academy to be modeled after the first team to some degree, because that's what prepares you to be successful at your club, or it gives you the best opportunity to be.
I completely agree. All right, so getting into my next question, it's pretty simple, but what do you miss most about home?
I would say probably friends, family, and lifestyle. The lifestyle in England is a bit different in terms of like things here will kind of shut quite early. Like if it's a weekday, shops are going to be closed at 6 p.m. and stuff like that. And me, sometimes I procrastinate a little bit. So if I haven't gone to the shop and I need to desperately cook something, the shop might be closed. Whereas back home, I can go to the shop at any time, pretty much. And then obviously, yeah, friends and family, I do miss them always. Sometimes more of the time, like around the holidays and stuff like that. But it's a sacrifice I chose to make, and I'm definitely going to stick with it, and I would do it again and again. But it's just one of those things I have to put up with.
That's class.
Do you live alone, or do you have any friends and family there with you? Or
I live with a couple of teammates right now, which is nice. So I'm kind of always surrounded by people who I get along with. But my parents now have been able to come and visit occasionally. My brother's off at university now, and they both work remotely, so they can come over if they need to, and kind of work on American hours while still in England, which is nice. I think they both actually made it over here at some point this year, which never used to happen in the past couple of years. Because my brother was still in high school, but now they can come visit, which is really nice.
yeah, that's sweet. Must be kind of weird since you're still only 19, right? Like seeing your high school buddies now in college, and you're just living a totally different life now compared to them. So
Yeah, definitely. I think I probably would have been doing that if this hadn't worked out. But yeah, football is definitely a strange life in terms of it's probably as far from normality as you can get. I'll see my friends, going out to a football game or something on a Saturday and maybe going to a party afterwards. Whereas I'll be playing a game on a Saturday and I'll be off on a Tuesday night or something like that. Like it's, be a 6 or 7 week sometimes, and you never know when that day off is going to be. It could be a Saturday, could be a Sunday, or it could be a Wednesday or something like that. So yeah, it's as far from normal as you can get, but I do enjoy it.
nice. Do you have another question? You got it on.
Oh yeah. So well, we're Americans, so we kind of wanted to touch on like what was U17 camp like when you got that call up, and when you were there and surrounded by all the young Americans, was there anybody that stood out that you thought was really going to be able to progress their game to the pros and become a star maybe?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, to kind of answer that first part of the question, going into camp for the first time was it was a bit of a surreal experience because something I always kind of felt like I deserved, but I never really thought would happen. So when I did get called in, I got called in with my old center back partner at the time, Josh Ramsey, and that was one of those moments we'd always talked about. And when it happened, I'd gone to England for a bit and then came back, and we're linking up in California for camp. And it was a great experience. I think I was definitely nervous for that first camp, but I obviously did enough to earn myself another call up later down the line. And as we kind of progressed, I grew into it and I got more confident, and I really enjoy it. And it's a really proud feeling to kind of be in that group, because it's if you look at it, it's a very kind of elite group in terms of everyone wants to be there, but few get there. So I definitely felt proud because I know about how many people have wanted to be in that position. So I felt very privileged. And as well as players, like, these guys they're great players. A lot of them MLS players at the time, or a few guys in Europe, like Germany and stuff like that. But Gio Reyna, of course, stood out to me. Everything, he makes things look easy, which is a big compliment in its own. Yeah, he was very good. There's plenty of good goalkeepers. Big C over at Leicester, he's a great goalkeeper and he's massive as well. So it's definitely hard to get a shot past him. But yeah, no, for the most part, everyone's great. A whole bunch of good players. So I don't really have anything bad to say about anyone, and they're all great guys as well.
We're hoping to see you get the senior call up soon, man. We're really hoping for that because you're such a baller. But I think, John, you have anything else? I have one more question. If not,
just when we're still talking about Americans, like whenever Sebastian Soto and Sargent came to Norwich, did you guys like instantly connect just from that American connection, or was it just kind of like another regular teammate?
No, yeah, there is a little connection there. I think as you kind of grow more into senior football, you get players coming in from all parts of the world. You get guys from France, Belgium, Greece, all types of things like that. So when you kind of have someone who grew up in the same environment as you, that's that instant bond, because you're all in something that's a bit foreign to you. So yeah, me and Sebastian have talked plenty about what life is like in California and stuff. And I went to LA actually last summer. But yeah, no, there's that instant bond there with Josh. We've talked about Florida and stuff because he went to IMG, and we've talked a lot about like kind of school, and all of us played in the DA at some point. So we all have kind of mutual experiences there. So it is really cool to play with someone who's from back home as well.
Yeah, nice. All right, Keelan, what were you saying now? So.
All right, well that basically that wraps it up, JT. Thank you so much. But if you don't want to do this, you don't have to. But I was just wanting to get your opinion. What's better, British birds or American birds?
So that happily, Americans for sure.
Yeah.
They're all right, but nothing tops the American ones.
Appreciate it so much, JT, and we hope to talk to you again soon. We're always supporting you, and just best of luck with the season and good health.
Yeah, we really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today. It means a lot to us, and it turns out you're a really cool guy too. I love talking to you, and even cooler guy than player so far. So really nice.
All right. Appreciate it. All right. I think we're good.
All right. Let me put that out, and I'll post it all over to you.
Oh, let's go, JT. You're the man, man. Good luck. Thank you
so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Someday soon you'll be on fire, and you'll ask me for a glass of water.